Hey guys, thisvthattv here. It's been a little while since I've done a discussion video, so I decided that I would talk to you guys about nostalgia. Nostalgia is a funny thing because I think that it can be looked at in a positive or negative way, even though generally I think people look at it in a more positive light. Nostalgia as something that enhances the value of something that you look back on and like, wow, I really liked this when I was younger, or I remember watching this way back when, and it's generally a positive thing. So like when you look back, it's like, oh, I had so many good memories, or something similar to that. But I think that it also can be a really negative thing, at least the way I tend to look at it, and that is because nostalgia, at least for me, can almost ruin any chance I have of rewatching something. Because I hold something in such a high regard because of nostalgia, sometimes I don't want to ruin it. Like I mentioned a little while ago in my video about what makes an anime worth purchasing, I was interested in watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Again because it's something that I watched several years ago, like more than a decade ago, and that I really liked watching at the time, and that I had nothing but fond memories of watching. But when just looking back on it a little bit, like doing a little bit of research on what other people have said about the show and about the story just in itself and the characters and everything, it seems fairly mediocre, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go back and watch this because it might ruin this high value I've placed on it because of how much I liked it when I was younger. The same thing with a bunch of other shows like that I watched back at the time before I knew anime was anime, like Pokemon or Astro Boy, or yeah, I guess those two things. A few shows like that where I kind of hold it in a high regard, but I don't really want to watch it again because I don't want my memories of that to kind of be tarnished, I guess. And I think that's where I'm at a lot of times with nostalgia is, while nostalgia I think can be a good thing, like when you're watching something like, oh my gosh, this is so nostalgic, but at the same time, it can also be detrimental because I don't want to ruin the good memories that I have with a particular series. But I actually did start watching Yu-Gi-Oh! In fact, I'm currently watching it right now. Over the past several months, I've been slowly working my way through it. And for the first, I don't know how many episodes, because I haven't gotten to this point yet, which I'll come back to the point that I'm trying to make about that certain point in the show. I haven't reached that yet, so I still have my nostalgia glasses on when I've been watching it, but and it's been interesting because I realize when I'm watching it now that it's fairly mediocre, and it might only be nostalgia that's allowed me to come this far in terms of watching it, because I don't think, if I had never watched the show before, I don't know if I'd still be watching it now, because like I said, frankly, it's fairly mediocre in pretty much every respect: characters, story, and animation, sound. It's not really all that remarkable in any particular area, and a lot of the time I think it's just the nostalgia is like, I'm watching this, wow, I remember this happening, or oh, I can't wait to see how this happens, because I don't exactly remember what goes on, but I remember I really liked this when I was younger, so I really want to see what happens next. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm getting ready to get to a certain point in the series, and I guess I'm going to call this the turning point, because even though I liked this series a lot when I was younger, I never even came close to finishing it because I watched it on a weekly basis on Kids WB, and there's like what, over, even if you don't include the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then there's Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is like 24-ish episodes, and then there's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. Now, the first season only going through, I think, the beginning of the Duelist Kingdom tournament, and then this Duel Monsters starting with the Duelist Kingdom tournament and then going onwards. So I'm getting ready to get to a point where I have not seen anything that's taken place in the show. So like up until I think I might have maybe 10 episodes to go before I get to a point where I've never actually seen anything that's taking place on the show. So it'll actually be really interesting to see if my nostalgia that's been kind of pushing me through, that's piqued my curiosity and has me continuing watching, even though I'm still able to get enjoyment from it, even though, like I said, I think it's fairly mediocre. It's not like I haven't been enjoying myself, but it might only be because of the nostalgia. And I'm wondering that when I get to this point where I don't have any attachment to it because I've never actually seen it before, if my nostalgia that's kind of been keeping me going and watching the show to see if that will continue, or if maybe my curiosity of seeing something in the show that I've never actually seen before, maybe that'll continue to carry me along through it. Because I haven't been watching the show in the way I would normally watch show, because it's really long, like really long. And so I'll watch. I've been progressing for several months. Like I'll watch a few episodes one week. I'll watch no episodes another week, but then the next day I'll watch like 5, and I kind of use it as like a filler show. Like if I'm in between shows and I don't know exactly what I want to watch, I'll just watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Or if I just need a quick show to watch when I'm eating or something, I'll watch it then. But I'm coming up rapidly upon this point. Maybe I should call it the point of no return. But I'm getting ready to hit this point, and I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens once I cross it, like I meant, because of all the reasons that I mentioned earlier. And that leads me into the question of the day, which is, how do you think nostalgia impacts what you decide to watch? So basically, kind of what I was talking about earlier. Would nostalgia make you more likely to watch an old show from your past that you really liked, or would you be afraid to watch because it might ruin the fond memories you have of it? And if you have any specifics that you'd like to share, I'd love to read them in the comments. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. This is the second time I'm doing a discussion video like this, which is more unscripted, just with me just going into a video with a general topic in my head and just talking to you guys about it. And you guys seemed to like it last time, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one as well. For everybody that's wondering when the next episode of The Anime District is coming out, I'm not totally sure because I'm currently working on it, so I'm hoping to get it out within a week or two. So look forward to that. Also, I would like to thank everybody who watched the first episode of The Anime District, because the response was overwhelmingly positive, and I think people really liked it. So thank you guys. I'm definitely going to be continuing this series, so be sure to stay tuned, because a new episode will be coming soon. And if you haven't seen The Anime District, please make sure to go and check that out, because it was a lot of fun to make, and I think a lot of people really liked it. Please make sure to like the video if you liked the video, and to subscribe if you haven't already. I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.